Hello everybody, I'm Steve and welcome to Green Side Up. Today I'm sowing my autumn sweet peas. It's a slightly different method than I normally use in the spring, but we'll crack on with that and I'll show you how I go about that now. Sweet peas. I make two sowings a year with sweet peas. One in autumn and one in quite early spring. And I do them I use slightly different containers each time. Normally in spring I'll use root trainers, but now here in autumn I'm using these poly pots. Now these are about 4-inch diameter and about 5-inch deep, and I'm just filling them loose with compost. So I've got got 16 in there. Now I need to that's just been put in loose, that compost. What I need to do now is absolutely drench them, and I mean drench them, a full can of water on them, get them thoroughly soaked and settled, and then we'll move on to the next stage in a minute. Right, let me explain a little bit about these while I'm watering. Now normally what you want in with sweet peas is the roots can grow quite fast, and they can go basically back up their own yin yang if you put them in a pot. So normally I would use root trainers in the spring. That changes the roots down and out of the bottom where the air gets to them and dries them off and cuts them off, so they're pruned, ready to go and straight in the ground. And that's what you want in early spring. You want that quick growth, and you want plants that are ready to go straight into the ground and get away and growing. We're growing them now in autumn. They're going to be here in these pots. What are we now? Starting November, so November, December, January, February, March. 5 months they're going to be in there. So this is why I've grown them in these poly pots. They're a lot bigger, and I'm going to put 3 seeds to a pot and let them grow on till next year. I may even have to feed them before I actually plant them out next year, but this will give me a much earlier crop, and the others that I plant in the root trainers in spring will follow on, so I get a long season of sweet pea flowers for very little effort. So that's my reasoning for doing it like this, and just putting them in these bigger containers just gives those seeds and plants more food to go at, and they'll be ready to go out maybe even in February, because they will stand cold. They won't stand severe cold like freezing temperatures for 4 or 5 days, but they will stand a frost and cold, and these will have been well hardened off before they go out anyway. So that's what I'm doing here now, just soaking these, and then we'll move on to the next stage in a minute. I'm going to let them drain now. I want them to drain thoroughly. Right, I'm growing the little collection sweet peas from Eagle Sweet Peas, and this has got 8 varieties in them with 8 different colours. I've got cream, magenta pink, scarlet, crimson, midnight blue, dark blue, salmon orange and almond pink, so that's a nice mix of colours. And the intended destination for these is I have a couple of wigwams every year that I grow sweet peas down here just for decoration really, and a few extra flowers. And my main cropping of sweet peas for the vase generally happens out the back, and I have a long framework I put them on, and I use a different collection for that. As I say, this is the little collection. It's got 8 varieties and 6 seeds of each, which is enough for what I've just filled up and watered outside there. It's enough to do 3 seeds in each pot, and that's finished, and that was £6, and that'd be wonderful. Say some will go down here in wigwams, and some I'll take home and put in the garden at home as well. So we'll crack on with that. Right, so sowing and growing sweet peas couldn't be easier. All I've done is I've taken these poly pots, as you can see there, filled them with compost, and I've just filled them loose. I haven't needed to compact them down because the watering will do that for me, and that's why you soak them. You fill them up roughly to the top, water them, and that settles. Now you can see there's massive gaps on the top of this, which is, you know, not normal for a gardener to leave that, but I'm going to show you what happens next when I start sowing these seeds and how I finish them off. It will make perfect sense. Now that compost underneath is, as I say, completely soaked. I'm putting 3 seeds in each pot. The all important label, normally I don't bother with this, but it's got the colour on the back, it's got the variety in the colour, so that's those two. Now that compost is soaked, this compost in here is dry, it's as it's come out of the bag. So all I'm going to do now is just fill them up to the top. Now I'm not going to water this. Capillary action, it's a great word, isn't it, capillary, will start to seep the water up from that wet compost through that and gradually soak the seed and allow it to germinate. So that's all you need to do. That's now ready. All I need to do now is cover it with a bit of newspaper or something and leave it. Check them daily. As soon as I see signs of it, I'll take that away. As soon as I see signs of the plants actually coming through the top there, I'll take this away permanently. That's just to help to keep the moisture in and keep them a bit dark. So that's it. That's as simple as it gets. Now, I say you don't need to soak seeds. You don't need to chit them. This is an old method of doing it. But these are the guys who specialise in sweet peas, Eagle sweet peas, as I've said previously, and this is the method I got up from their website, oh, I don't know, 12 years ago, something like that, and it works every time. I do soak the seeds in spring, and what I'll tend to do is I'll open all these separate packets, put them all in a jar, and I'll just soak them when I wake up in the morning, get up in the morning, have my first coffee, they'll all go in a jar or a glass, get wet, and then an hour later I'm sowing them, but I'm just wetting that seed coat just to start to moisten it. But it makes never mind. That's just what I've tended to do. But you don't need to. They're sown and they're done. So just do one more for you. So I say these sweet pea seeds from Eagle sweet peas, they're stunning. Your normal sweet peas, your average sweet pea that you'll buy from a garden centre, tends to have a flat petal. These are all ruffle. They're just fantastically blousy and shouty, and there we go. That's another one done. See, that's how easy it gets. Now, as regards to temperatures, keeping them somewhere safe, you want to keep them away from mice. Mice will have these seeds if you can, the same as they will with peas. So I'll keep these up on my hanging shelf and they'll be well out of the way there. And ideally you want temperatures around 13-14 degrees until they've germinated. Once you've got nice strong sort of bushy plants, they'll withstand the frost but still keep them protected until you're ready to plant them out, if you can. And once you've got up to, you'll get your seed leaf at first. Once you've got up to 3 leaves on the plants, then just nip the top out and they'll start to bush out and make good solid bushy plants. There we go, I'll finish them off. They're labelled and the colours are on the back. I say normally I don't even bother labelling them because the whole lot get planted and for cropping, but here I want to have the right colours to go at home and to go on my teepees here as well. So there we go, sweet peas, job done, dead easy. So that's it, autumn sweet peas sown. Thanks for watching, stay safe everyone, ta-ra now.